All right, guys. Today we're just going to go over the basics of a parking garage clean. This one here, this garage is about 15,000 square feet. That's something that will be established by your sales team. When you arrive on site, first thing I want you to do, reach out to your point of contact, whether that's maintenance director, your sales director, whoever it is, an apartment, condo. Figure that out beforehand. You're going to have that information. Shoot them a call upon arrival. With that arrival, have them meet you down in the garage so that way you can walk through your step-by-step process with them, because communication is trust. Start with coming in, simple introduction, and then tell them the few things that are crucial for you to have done by them before you get started. Step one, obviously we're in a full garage right now. More often than not, we're going to want these vehicles out of here. Any personal belongings, that should be established prior to your arrival. If it's not, that should be step one. You should be going up and down being like, hey, we need to get these vehicles out of here. Otherwise, we are not going to be cleaning in and around those vehicles. We'll go through that later. From there, it's the simple steps of where's your water hookup? If your water hookup's here, test that right away while they are there. Make sure it's on, running. Doesn't matter what your flow is at that point, but you have to have that established because you don't want a second follow-up. From there, you're going to go over fire protection systems and O2 sensors. This is just an example of one, but that being said, we always tell them to be on test mode or turned off. That allows us to not set off those sensors. Something as simple as just high moisture content when we're spraying can cause that, and or if you have your machine inside, that can be setting it off. Tell them we do monitor our own O2 sensors at that time that carry on the guys. That being said, we want them to be aware that, hey, sensors might be going off, but we are aware of them. Once you have that all established, you're going to be rolling through, walking through the garage with them, point out any little things that you notice with it. One common thing that we like to bring up, you get into a storage area like this, take your oil socks, sock those off. These have drywall around them. That's very common for these closet areas and garages. With that, we don't want to be getting any of that wet. So sock off the door. When you get to that edge, tell them like, hey, we're going to bump out when we're surface cleaning a little bit. We'll rinse as close as we can, but we do not want any moisture back there. Again, communication is key up front beforehand. That allows that trust to get built, so that way as you're going through the project, you guys can be on the same page, even if they aren't down here with you while you're completing the project. From there, we're going to roll right into the simple prep. Your prep here is, first thing we want to do is we want to have everything swept up. Whether that means we're going to have our ride-on sweeper, push sweeper, or in some cases we're just sweeping up the large debris. Reason of it is, if you look over at stains like this, that is a lot of debris to push over and down a drain. Prep work is key. You can save yourself a lot of time on the wash if you just focus on getting that large debris picked up, blowing the leaves out the door. As for with your prep work, try and use a broom if you can on your corners. Leaf blowers are nice, but they also create a lot of dust. We want to try and minimize that as much as possible. Your ventilation should be running. With ventilation, always identify where your exit and ventilation is and entrance. Being typically an underground garage, you're going to have one garage that pulls air in from the outside, and usually on the opposite end of that garage, there's going to be an exit that pulls air out. For example, right here, we have an entrance ventilation. Easiest way to tell, A, you're going to hear it if it's running or not. Bring that up with your walkthrough. B, easiest thing to do, this ventilation isn't on. Pull a dollar bill out of your wallet, go up to it. If it sticks to it, that's your exit ventilation, because that air is getting drawn out and that dollar will stick to it. If you put it up to it and it falls, that means that air is coming in and it won't stick to the outside of it. Easy little trick like that to do it. If you don't have a dollar, it could be anything as simple as a napkin can test something like that. Once you have that all checked out, oil socks are down around your drains, socked around your doors. You're going to follow that right into getting your hoses all pulled out. Start first with your garden hose. Garden hose, once it's all swept, hook it up, get your tank filled. Hopefully you have some water in your tank upon arrival, but you do not want to get to the point where you forget about hooking that up. That should be the first hose pulled out. After that, unravel all your pressure washing hose. Best way to do that, stretch it all the way out to the back side of your garage. When you get back there, hook your wand up right away, because that leads right into your next step of setting degreaser. Once you put your degreaser in, you're going to soap from the back of the garage all the way up to the front. There is a reason for that. Reason is once you get back up here to the front, your truck's outside, you get your hose kind of pulled out behind you, then you can start surface cleaning from the entrance here in. What that allows you to do is when you're surface cleaning inward, your hose stays behind you. Keeping your hose behind you allows you to keep moving, not having to go up and over all of your hoses. It also allows you to turn back and realize, all right, it's starting to dry behind me. If at any point it's starting to dry behind you after you've surface cleaned, go through, give a rinse of that section, pick up where you ended surface cleaning, continue. You'll repeat that step all the way to the back of the garage. There are definitely opportunities where you can surface clean an entire garage through and then rinse it out. When it comes to rinsing, please be very aware of don't want to leave dry spots, and you have to be thorough. It's not a simple just spraying left and right. Be thorough with it, push a line, find your pitches to your drains, get it down close to that drain, then you can skip past it. At the very end, your last thing, you'll be coming from the back of the garage out, cleaning up those drains, whether it's scooping up the large debris or rinsing the small fine stuff down. We want to leave that clean format as we work ourselves out of the garage. Pretty simple. Our garage should be clean from there. Last thing you want to do, go around, pick up all your oil socks. If there's any sort of dirt left behind, try and get that cleaned up, and do your own quality control check before you reach back out to your point of contact and let them know, hey, we're wrapped up. Offer that walk around, have a game plan again once they get down here to walk through, offer up that type of stuff. Beyond that, I do have just a handful of side notes. With these side notes, things that we want to point out are staying away from drywall, was mentioned once before. With that drywall, go into a back corner, such as back in here. We don't want to be spraying water into a section like this. So I look at an area here where there's a lot of drywall in the corner. Maybe I'll surface clean right along this line. And then from there, I'll make sure this is all swept out nice. But then when you're spraying, you can be spraying here and out and away. Oil stains, another big thing. If you see a heavier oil stain, treat that beforehand. Maybe go over it once or twice with a surface cleaner. That way you have, quote unquote, the ammunition to tell the person, hey, look at the difference we made here on these oil stains, or hey, there is a couple spots here, didn't lift up like we were liking. I did hit it with a straight application of degreaser. I agitated it. I surface cleaned it a couple times. Sometimes stains just get a little bit deeper than we thought. Lastly, with these cars here, hopefully you have all of your cars out, but world's not perfect like that. You're going to have a vehicle in certain garages. When you're doing that, try and stay away from the vehicles. We don't want any water splashed up. We don't need another reason for a tenant to be coming towards us with any, oh, you caused damage, or why is my vehicle dirty? That being said, this is a great spot. I like to always say keep 3 feet of distance. Surface cleaning, something like this, you can maybe just run it right along this yellow line. That's not quite 3 feet. But then when you're rinsing through here, go to low pressure, get yourself with your back hip basically along the vehicle and be spraying out away from the vehicle. That way we're not splashing all of that back up on the vehicle, leaving a tenant not only upset with us, that then filtrates all the way up to our point of contact, building owner, etc. Last thing, with just a couple side notes, when you're rinsing through these areas, obviously we're going to hopefully have this large debris all swept up beforehand, push it all the way down to these drains here. With these drains, I like to get it within a couple feet, come through, take your broom, sweep it up into a shovel, pick up that large debris, get the hair, that type of stuff out of there, get as much of that picked up so we're not putting that down. That's something we like to take pride in telling the customers, hey, we're not going to be shoving all of this mess down your drains. We're going to get it to the point where it should just be kind of dirty water pushing through. If at any times you have a drain that's starting to plug up, take your pressure washer, you can spray down there. That cleans those drains out pretty well. Keep that in mind moving forward. Lastly, something that doesn't attain to this garage specifically, like I said, this is probably about a 15,000 square foot garage. We can park on the outside, pull all of our hoses in, so our machine should never be pulled inside. That being said, 400 feet of hose is as far as we can reach without starting to lose pressure at the wand or at the gun. That being said, if all of a sudden this is a much larger garage, a multi-level garage, and you have to pull a vehicle in, that prep work of speaking with your client is very important. Park as close as you can to ventilation, and that is the exit ventilation, and go from there. If at all costs, try to keep your vehicle parked outside. Typically, if we're in a garage where you have to pull inside, there should be multiple people here. That might just mean pulling one vehicle inside, them working from the back of the garage up, and then that other vehicle staying parked outside, and them working in to, again, minimize the amount of CO2 emissions that we're pushing out in an enclosed space. Beyond that, it's a lot of the common sense of the world. You have to be upfront and honest, get that communication, trust built early, and then just follow these steps all the way through, and we should be able to get every garage looking the same and at our standard before we leave.